What's going on, guys? Angry Man Duke here again. And what am I angry about? This damn wheel. Now, before I really get into that, I have to do the setup as to how this wheel really pissed me off.
Very, very angry.
Other than the obvious fact is it broke.
You're on a roll, big time.
So this story all started on Thursday. Today's Saturday, but I don't know if I'm going to post this today, and I don't really know if you're going to watch it on the day that I post it. Oh, hi, Casper. Of course you're going to come see me while I'm filming. The video that you're watching now, as far as what you can see on the road, is actually, well, we're about to drive through Flagstaff. I may or may not be able to continue talking through that. Depends on how bad the people drive, because I do focus on the road while I'm filming this stuff, but I figure since you can see me and Casper and you can see the road, that maybe you'll enjoy this a little bit more. Like I said, I don't pay attention to the phone while I'm doing this, but like I said, this all started on Thursday. On Thursday, I was in Southern California.
Let's get crazy.
Southern California pissed me off more than it usually does.
I am confident that there's a substantial chance that that's going to happen.
Because the traffic in Southern California,
I thought, holy shit, I hope I can get tickets to that!
Was worse than I had ever seen it. No matter how many lanes were on the highway, there were always too few lanes because there was too many motherfucking idiots on the fucking road. Everywhere it was bumper to bumper.
I had to move my neck to see it end to end.
Traffic pissed me off, but I was able to deliver my load, get reloaded. I was not able to get out of California on Thursday because of this wheel. Now, I'm in bumper to bumper traffic.
What's important is that we move quickly.
Somewhere in California. Honestly, I couldn't tell you because I'm not paying total attention to where I'm at. Like, yeah, exactly where I'm at in traffic, where I gotta go, that kind of stuff, yes. Because I was paying attention to mile markers as soon as my truck tells me
Should be dead in the water.
that my front right steer is critically low on air. At this point, it tells me that, but I can't do anything about it because I'm in bumper to bumper traffic and there's no shoulder, so I can't pull off.
I suppose as long as everyone's having a good time, there ain't no reason to be a poopy pants.
Now, I'm somewhat happy that it was the right side, because the right side, if I do pull over, is not facing traffic, and these fuckers are using the shoulder in order to circumvent some of the traffic. So that makes it kind of scary to pull over too. Anyway, I managed to find a spot where I can pull over, and it is like the little triangle area where the on-ramp is. So like we're coming up on one now. You see that truck that's merging on the road, right? It's kind of foggy, but maybe not. I ain't gonna be able to get over. Anyway, so this area here, the triangle, it's big enough for my truck and then some. In California, I pull in.
You park anywhere, that's me.
And of course, there's cars that think I'm going away that gets me around traffic, so they try to follow me, and I damn near get hit when I'm getting out of my truck. Oh, I'm surrounded by fucking retards. That was only one or two that tried to do that, and after that, it was okay.
It is inevitable.
I then get out of the truck and air up my tires. I bump it up to like 115 pounds, and I get on my way. Traffic does eventually clear up, and I want to thank my boy E-Rock for helping me calm down, because I was getting really pissed, and then on top of that, it was super hot. So being pissed and hot at the same time wasn't helping, because the heat, it was like, the truck was saying it was 104 degrees outside.
Flick my bean to it.
That pump of air allows me to get to Barstow. Barstow is roughly like 50, 60 miles away from there.
This is a feminist myth.
It's starting to get low when I pull into the TA at Barstow. This is where I start getting really pissed off.
FYI, that's when the Imodium gave out.
I go into the TA and I check in. The TA there, I guess, never served a Blackhawk. I don't know, because like they don't know what they're doing. And they're asking me for the number that is normally stored under who I am, because I give them my phone number and they're like, hey, are you still working for this company, or are you still driving this truck? Is this all this information's still right. How many miles you got now? All that fun stuff. I tell the guy, because this is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, if you're not going to be able to get me into the shop until the middle of the night, just push it off until the following morning, like the next shift or whatever, because I'm a daytime driver. My ass ain't going to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Name one thing in this world that is not negotiable.
So he says, okay, but there's 5 trucks in front of me. I'm hopeful that they'll be able to get me in, because I'm thinking, at this point, I need a tire, right? Because I got this slow leak.
And I think it's haunted, even though it's not.
Now, I don't know, maybe I hit a horrible pothole. I don't know, the infrastructure, the highway system in California sucks. But I was going so slow, like, you can crawl over stuff and not damage anything. And that's how, like, off-road is done, right? You go slow as hell so that you don't damage anything. All right, so from there, hang out for a little bit. I do my stuff. I'm contemplating whether or not I'm going to end up resetting in Barstow. I don't want to reset. I'm due to go grocery shopping. I still have to go grocery shopping, but that's not really my point of this. But yeah, so I'm due to go grocery shopping. I'm worried about having to reset there because I don't like grocery shopping in California. Everything's more expensive. Lo and behold, like 1:30 in the morning, I get a call. Now, I don't know I'm getting a call because my ass is sleeping.
A sign of surrender.
I sleep right through that shit, and of course I do. It was a long day. I was angry, and that angriness tired me out. So I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I realize that the guy called me because he left me voicemail, right? I go into the shop, and I'm like, yeah, I just need to make sure I'm still in queue, because I told the guy when I checked in that if they called me in the middle of the night, I wasn't going to answer. So they called me in the middle of the night, and I didn't answer. They're like, well, we can put you back in line, but we just, skipped you. And then, like, the mechanic, I guess, that did call me was like, yeah, I tried to call you, but you didn't answer. So, I just threw your check-in in the trash. And it's like, well, you don't have to be rude about it. I told the dude when I checked in that I wasn't going to answer that shit. So you didn't take the direction. Maybe he screwed up, or maybe the mechanic screwed up. And either way, you don't have to be rude about it.
We are getting aggravated.
They're like, okay, well, we'll put you in the back of the line. I'm like, okay, how long's the line? They said 3 trucks ahead of you. I'm like, okay, 6 o'clock in the morning. So Casper starts bugging out like he wants to go out at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's too much winning.
So while I have him out, I go in there to see what's going on, because it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, it's been 4 hours. I don't know what the deal was with these other 3 trucks. I go in there, and they're like, well, we figured you weren't going to answer the phone anyway, so a couple other guys came in, and we put them ahead of you.
I buried those cockroaches.
And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? So I'm like, well, I got a slow leak, right? I'm just going to air up my tire and go to the next spot, because you guys don't deserve money for treating me like this.
Good appetit.
That's what I do. I air up my tire, and the leak at this point is getting a little worse, right? So I had to air up my tire twice between Barstow and Needles, Arizona. Needles, I pull into the Love's, I check in. Love's was not bad per se when I got there, right?
Because I was working.
They bullshitted with me. Only issue with Love's is they required me to be out of the truck, and we're in Arizona. Casper don't like to be in the heat, so I end up sitting in the office. Casper gets all excited about everybody that walks in because he thinks everybody wants to pet him. And generally, most people do. They have me check in. It takes about 3 hours to get me in, but they replaced my tire, which is what I thought the problem was. I get another like 40 miles up the road, the truck's going, tire's going critically low. And I'm like, well, what the hell? And I'm like, what the hell? My head, because this did happen on the left side months ago in Utah, where a guy came out, gave me road service, gave me a new tire. I got up the road and it went flat again. I needed a rim. Company specifically told the guy that came out to replace the rim that I didn't need a rim. I just needed a tire. So he came out, charged him for another tire. And I'm like, nah, dude, I didn't need a freaking tire. I needed a rim. And he's like, well, I got a rim, but I got to go back to the shop to get it. So that was in the middle of nowhere in Utah. Beautiful spot. Here's a picture of Casper there. There might even be 2 or 3 pictures of Casper there. Anyway, from there, I pull it, like I hit up Garmin. Garmin says I'm only 3 miles away from the Petro. Truck says I only got 90 pounds of air. So I baby it, get my ass to the Petro, I check into Petro. Not very fond of that Petro because they are apparently the busiest Petro in the country, but I do like the Petro there better than the TA that's there. And like I said, I'm already past the Loves, so, and at that point I was past the TA, that Petro. Alright, part of this is where it gets better. No, I don't like that Petro because their massively huge parking lot that can hold 300 trucks does not have a single even spot. And I don't like parking on uneven spots, because if you park on an uneven spot, then your bed is on an uneven spot, and all you motherfuckers that get to sleep in a house,
There is something I wish to teach you.
don't understand what having a crooked bed is. But I do. I've slept in a van for 5 years before I started sleeping in a truck for 3 years, and I've slept in 4 different trucks. None of them balance the bed. I go and I put in my break-in, I talk to my dispatcher and, you know, tell them what's happening. Well, not my dispatcher, my maintenance person, still the same person. She's sweet about it. I explain what's happening. I'm not happy about it, and I don't like making the company spend more money, because if I can save them money, that's how I get raises. And I mean, I signed on with this company a year and a half ago at 49 cents, and I'm up to 65 cents now. So, you know, I like money. I like money.
Yeah, I like money though.
And I like saving them money.
Oh, don't double charge me.
So they have money to give me. Anyway, I tell them what's happening. I'd already checked in with the Petro. The Petros are in Kingman, Arizona, is phenomenal.
I think it's brilliant.
Why do I say they're phenomenal? Well, Larry, the guy at the counter, was able to get me in as soon as I got approval from maintenance to get the job done. Of course, I was going to get approval because I got a broken rim. I can't really get anywhere else. I need it, and there's a shop there that has it. And I mean, the cost, I think he said $465, which isn't too bad considering the tire at Love's was $795.
Because it creates that illusion of depth.
Ridiculous. But steer axles, steer tires have to be virgin, so that, like, they can't be used tires, they can't be retreads. They have to be new tires, and new tires always cost more. Anyway, they say they can do it. He gets me in as soon as we get done talking, so I actually have to go out and unhook my trailer, and then I can immediately pull in. That was wonderful, because, well, you never expect that, because, like, the Barstow didn't touch me originally for, what, 9 hours, and then they weren't going to touch me again for 10 or 12. Then Loves, like I said, they were much better, but it still took them 3 hours to get me in. Petro got me right in, and because Casper gets weird when the truck gets jacked up and shit, he wants to bark at people all the time, it's just easier to be inside. Inside was cool. They started watching season 4 of Yellowstone. I haven't actually watched any Yellowstone. I have now. I started watching season 1 last night, but I hadn't watched it yet, so I wasn't paying attention to that. But I got to pay attention to what Casper's doing all the time, because there's people walking in to check in for service and shit, and I can't have him jumping on them. And, you know, everybody wants to pet him and wants to know what Casper's doing. But long story short, these guys had me in and out within 2 hours of checking in. That was freaking phenomenal. And I gave them a great Google review. They can see that, and I did tell them about this YouTube channel. This is going to be a long video because it was a long story to go with it. God damn it, there's a Prius in front of me that's going 60 in a 75. Of course there is, because he's worried about fuel economy. No, I don't know. We're going downhill. I don't quite understand why vehicles go slow downhill. I don't know. My car doesn't. It wants to go faster. I let it go faster. Speed limit's higher. Doesn't make sense. Maybe it's the U-Haul in front of him. I gotta wait for another truck to pass me. Ew, you son of a bitch. I only seem to pass Dodge Rams that are towing trailers. When it comes to pickup trucks with trailers, like, I don't pass Chevys and Fords, and it's not like they're not out there because they pass me. But that's just I don't know if it's people that drive Dodge or slowing ahead. That might be the case, because we all know that I don't like Dodge, but I've already done the history of Dodge and why they're pieces of crap. Anyway, guys, this is going on way longer than most of my Angry series. Thanks for watching. You know I wouldn't do this without you. I'll see my friends in my next video.